What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Man Cove. How is everybody doing for a little playoff parlay? Quick show tonight before the Bucks kick off their playoff run in the NFC. Just checking how everyone's doing. Thomas, how's it going? First one in before I got here. Robert and Terry, frickin' frack. How are you guys doing tonight? Hope you guys are watching the Bucks. Baker, what's up, brother? Welcome. Amber, welcome back. Thank you so much for everything. I know this is kind of an impromptu, quick show. Just kind of doing a little kickoff for the Buccaneers before they get rolling. What's up, Mark? Hope you had a good day today. Yeah, this is my version of the Bay Area upside down edition hat. I know. I think I like mine better though. What do you think? You guys think rope hat? Should we do this on the site? Yeah, I might have to do one. Yeah, I should put these up. I think this would be a good idea. A little change of pace. These actually have a white snap too. I like these ones. These are good. Bringing my co-host on. I know I advertised him. He has his own show, and so he's a busy guy. I appreciate him joining me. Jerry, how's it going,
what's
man?
going on? How's it going? Sorry about that.
No, don't worry.
We started a little bit late. We had some technical stuff to start out, so we just finished, and so only a couple minutes late. So glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, I know. You're a Bucks guy. You like the Lightning. You support the Bucks, and just to do like a quick little show before
got the
the
Lightning
Bucks
shirt underneath.
You got Lightning. Yeah, we can chat about them too for a minute. There's some breaking news with the Lightning too. So how you doing? How's the show? How you been?
Good. Yeah, we had a couple pours today. Cigars and beer products. Yeah, doing pretty well. Been using I got the new stuff in from you last week, I think it was. Been using that. Liking the new branding. Looks nice up on. I got a little shelf. I think it's meant for like nail polish or something. But those 1 ounce bottles fits perfectly on it. Those black bottles look fantastic up on the shelf with all the other products up there. Yeah.
Which ones did you grab? I know you grabbed some at the launch, and I appreciate that too.
Yeah. I did the Flor Blanca oil and the liquid butter because I was definitely intrigued by that one. The sea salt spray and the deodorant.
Okay.
Because I figured I wanted to try. Eventually, I'll end up trying all the scents, but I know how your products are. You're at least for the beard. But I wanted to try that liquid butter out, so I grabbed that. And then being down in Florida, growing up right outside of Tampa, sea salt. And then I never really had to have sea salt spray. I grew up on the water. It's natural spray. But I figured I'd give that a shot. I've been using it in the hair, like up here. Been feeling great, giving a nice little texture to it. I don't know if it's that or because it's been cold down here in Florida, but it's not as frizzy. So nice using that. The deodorant, I'm loving it. Like I said, that's we talked about. You were on the show twice now, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was at least been a couple months before the rebrand.
Yeah. But I think you were on before the rebrand and then as the rebrand. And we talked about it. I think it was before the we actually recorded. Gone through so many different brands of deodorant just because add some what's going on, Adam?
So
I
bad.
get irritants and whatnot, and so I've been using it for about a week and a half. No problems with it. Going well. Love
You
the scent of it too.
outside,
I can't remember. I don't know what scent I got, but I'd have to look
someone
at it.
have
But
to you have to look that up. I was talking to Mark today at the market. He came and helped out. Great guy. He had sent or even posted a picture on how Native, and I know my deodorant's pretty similar to Native. Uh, is that they have? I mean, they've collabed with everybody. They've collabed with the Girl Scouts. They have
yep,
Dunkin' Donuts. I
yep.
think it's Doritos. They they have everything. So you can get like strawberries and cream latte
Yeah,
deodorant, which you know
yeah.
uh,
That was I was using Native. Actually, I used the last little bit of the deodorant I had before the day your shipment showed up, so it was perfect. But yeah, I got an email. They had Dunkin' Donuts, Girl Scouts, or the Dunkin' Donuts was the new one, and they said something about Girl Scouts, and you get like some crazy coffee flavors and donuts with sprinkles, and like I don't know if I want to smell like that.
that's why I kept the deodorants to a minimum. I was like the cedar sage, bourbon vanilla, Bailey from they and I smelled them all. When they had the Girl Scout ones, they had like the thin mints, which is mint, not bad. It's for a deodorant, it's nothing I'd ever pick, but they all smell really good, and I know it's a deodorant that works. So, um, I think the new ones were like passion fruit, pineapple, and there was another one, whatever the
Ooh,
Doritos drinks are, but they're great. But I don't know if it's ever something you want. Maybe even if
smell like
a beard product, just not deodorant. It's just not something I think of as a deodorant.
beard
You
product.
know,
I could see here and there, just kind of like how you had the what'd you call it, the lunchbox collection.
lunchbox set. Yeah,
Um,
you put bubble gum in your beard. Why not? Right?
like here and there, just kind of something fun I could see. But as a deodorant, smelling like it all day, I don't know. It's kind of strange.
Yeah, that's just not. Um, it's not something I'd pick. But I deliver to a Target, and I have to walk through Target to get to a CVS pharmacy to kind of do their pickups as a mail carrier. So I get to walk by the men's grooming section every single day,
Yeah,
and so I see all the new stuff they have, like what Doctor Squatch is coming up with, the Rocks men's grooming brand, and them, and for every quarter it's something new, and it's really cool, and they all smell good. It's just and I'm guilty of having bubble gum and pineapple beard oil, but it's not something I would ever think that we would want as a deodorant. But they are really cool.
yeah. It's a
So
fun little project that they do. But same thing with all the other brands out there. They do random little one offs, but like I said, little
yeah, it
one
seems
offs.
like,
Nothing.
and this is something I think you noticed too, and we could use this as a real quick conversation point. It feels like everything is some sort of feature or collab. You walk by GNC and they have a Reese's peanut butter cup protein. Now, it's not just chocolate peanut butter. It's not peanut butter cup. It has to have Reese's name on it. Uh, there, every company seems to be featuring a company that's probably really isn't even on the products or in.
No, it's just a name with a scent profile to it or a taste profile or whatever it is. Might have like
Yeah,
those Reese's might have just a slight hint of the Reese's peanut butter in it, but
yeah. If it does taste like that, then you know what? Then I'll eat crow. But uh, it seems like that's with everything. You get you know, Duke Cannon has Buffalo Trace. Like, you're using another company's name to sell your product that probably really isn't even in it.
yeah.
It's kind of
Well,
frustrating.
with the whole with
Without,
that one, I've used it, and supposedly they use a little bit of Buffalo Trace with like bourbon in it. Um, and being in the whiskey community on Instagram and stuff, people flocked to it just because I had that name to it. And
Yeah, it's a
great
good scent.
marketing.
I did like the scent.
Oh, it's a nice little vanilla bourbon woodsy scent to it.
Yeah,
That you just say if you just say that it's a whiskey or bourbon scent, I don't think that many people would have gone to it. But you throw that Buffalo Trace name onto it, and it flies off the shelves.
yeah. It's like you're using that name to kind of garner those sales. I wish, but they're paying licensing. They're if it's working. Yeah, this is Gary. License deals are how they get success. Yeah, attaching to a popular name. Yeah, they're doing. I mean, they're definitely getting licensing. I'm sure there's companies out there that aren't. Squatch is, they are. They're pumping commercials out with uh Sydney Sweeney. They're doing pretty good. Well, there's a kind of another exciting uh tournament I want to get to, but I had you on because you're a Bucks fan, and so we're kind of doing a little playoff precursor, even though there's already been some games happening. So, uh, who do you like in the playoffs, and how do you feel about the Buccaneers?
Um, feel good tonight. Um, feel like it. I don't know. It seems like the Bucks and Commanders, I guess is the new name.
Mhm.
They seem to have a decent. I don't want to call it a rivalry, but it's a nice over the last couple of years between those two going back and forth. The playoffs back in what was that 2020, and then a few times here and there throughout the couple seasons. Um, they've always been great games. So tonight, I could see them doing well. Rest of the playoffs, unfortunately, I don't see them going too far. I think um, the Chiefs and Bills and Eagles are looking real well tonight. Unfortunately, those teams I think might have the Bucks number if it comes to playing one of them. But Adam would like to hear me say this, but I think the Bills have a good chance to go take it all this year.
Who who would be your Super Bowl picks? I guess AFC, NFC, and a winner.
Ooh, yeah, pull it up to see actually who's playing who to pull that up.
Yeah, so you don't want to pick a team that's already maybe lost.
Well, I've been watching it today, but you got to look at like who's playing who for the.
Yeah. AFC looks like it's set. I think you're going to have the Chiefs versus the Texans and the Bills versus the Ravens.
Yeah.
Um, it, Eagles are currently beating the Packers, and so that would mean the Buccaneers would go to Philly should they beat Washington, which that'd be tough. I know
Yeah.
they beat Philly in the first round here last year. Maybe a
They
revenge game for Philly.
usually play well against Philly in Philly, but again, every year is a different team. But yeah, going up there, especially with this winter storm that's hitting the whole East Coast, um, it's at least here in Jacksonville, it's 40 degrees. Um, so it's definitely ice cold up there in Philly. So that'd be a tough game to get across.
It was in the 30s here in Tampa this morning. And we're sitting about mid
Yeah.
50s right now, but it got pretty cold last night, and this morning was tough to get up at 6 a.m.
Yeah. We woke up and looked at the weather. It was 65, 66. And then the Google Home that we asked also said that it was the high for today at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'm loving it, but I like a little bit of colder weather, but I could deal without that snow that everyone else was having.
Yeah, that's one thing we at least get to avoid is all that ice and snow and those types of storms. I know we had to deal with hurricanes. I think you're a little safer over there, but yeah, I'll take that over, the snow that just absolutely, locks you indoors. Yeah, I see everyone else is pulling for, it looks like, let's see who we got. Finest mixed breed, Lions versus Ravens, picking Ravens to win the Super Bowl. Baker, Detroit in Super Bowl. Gary is Ravens versus Commanders. He's picking Jaden Daniels to get hot. But he's pulling for Detroit and Buffalo. Those are two different teams. I don't know what you're doing right now. You can't have four. um, yeah, mixed breeds. I would like to see Detroit take it all. I know my boy Mark watching the Bucks beat the Eagles to shut down the Vets. My favorite Buccaneers memory. Yeah, that was Rondé Barber pick 6, ending the Vet. That was a great. And I think they actually didn't they play the Eagles the first game of the next year at Lincoln Financial, and they won that one too in 2003 or 4. I feel like I saw Joe Gier.
Definitely one of the. It was definitely one of the first few.
Yeah, Joe Jurevicius making the acrobatic catch that he had. I think that was definitely like a Monday Night Football type of game too. I remember that.
I think it's at my mom's somewhere. I have a picture of Joe making that catch signed. Because, like I said, growing up, basically Clearwater area, we used to go to the Bucks spring training and practice. Right before they went to what was it, One Buck Place or whatever it is. Right before they moved there, right around that Super Bowl, we used to go to their open practices and spring training games, and me being a little kid going down to the front row throwing pictures and hats and stuff out to get signed and everything. So somewhere at my mom's, I'm pretty sure it's a picture of him making that catch signed.
I'd have to see what actual game that was. It feel like it was one of the games before, because they started, I think 4-0 or something like that, and they kind of fell apart that year. But they won the Super Bowl and stayed hot, and then looked like they had some issues probably internally that year. If I had to make my picks right now based off of what I've seen, I like Buffalo and Detroit. This feels like Buffalo's year. I know the Chiefs went 15-2. That game doesn't count. The last game doesn't count against Denver, but I feel like this might feel like Buffalo's year.
The thing with the Chiefs is all their, well, I don't want to say all, but most of their games came down to the last drive. The Bills, I don't think will let them keep it that close. The Chiefs are going to have that. If it comes to those two, I think the Chiefs are going to have to actually do something and not just kind of hang around, because the Bills are just going to just keep piling it on.
Yeah, I think the Bills are playing really good football. I watched them play Detroit, and they felt like they really handled Detroit for a while. And I know Detroit kept it close, but that was Buffalo looked pretty good in that one. But I like Detroit too. So, I think depending on who wins between the Bucks and Commanders, who they're going to get. But and I don't know. I can tell you who to win, but it's going to be a good matchup. I would like Buffalo and Detroit. Yeah, I think Bucks run into Philly in Philly.
Yeah, like I said, I think the Bucks could come out tonight with the win. If it comes down to playing Philly, That'd be a tough one.
Yeah, that would be
But
a tough one too.
whoever if the Bucks end up pulling this one out, whoever they end up playing, it's going to be
Yeah.
a tough one.
And this one looks close to over. It's 19-10. I think they would get the winner of the Rams and Vikings at home. If the Packers pulled it out, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But if they win this one, which I know that I was at the first game against the Commanders, and Baker Mayfield came out firing, but it was kind of a little bit of a shootout. It didn't seem like they could stop Jaden Daniels. I think he was like their leading rusher for that game. He really caused some problems. I think he's going to continue to cause them some problems defensively. I like Antoine Winfield being back as far as safety help. And I think Jamel Dean is healthy too. So he missed last game.
Yeah.
Bucks at full force, their defense. That's good news. So, I think Baker's a dog. He's got that dog in him. I think I do think they win tonight, but
yeah, he's got that in him. It just people don't look at him the way they should, and I was looking at his stats the other day. He was top 5 for yards of the season. I'd have to pull him up. The only thing that I think he was hurting with was the interceptions.
Yeah, I think he had 12, something like that.
But everything else was like top 8 between passing percentage, yards, touchdowns. And it helps that you have guys like Mike sitting there grabbing everything that's thrown his way.
Yeah, and for Chris Godwin going down, I think Jalen McMillan has come on really, really strong the past few games. I think he's had like 5 touchdowns in 3 games, something like that. He made 2 massive catches to come back last week to, I know the Falcons end up getting beat, but which is essentially help sealing a playoff berth. Yeah, Cleveland did him dirty, but Cleveland's gonna Cleveland. Cleveland is always gonna Cleveland. It's not. It sucks. Being from Ohio, I'm more of a Browns supporter than I am Bengals. But I was never, being a Buckeye fan. You don't really care about the NFL. It's not really. But and you also got the news a couple days ago that the Tampa Bay Lightning are getting their very own Stadium Series game in Raymond James Stadium in February.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one against Boston, I believe it was.
Boston,
if I remember correctly, because I know the Panthers also got their Winter Classic down there, and they were playing the Rangers, if I remember correctly. I know I've had
both.
some, being in. So I don't know if you've ever noticed anything I've posted or if ever. I actually drive a Zamboni up here for the ECHL team, which is basically like the AA team for the NHL. I've been doing it for 13 years now, driving, certified, and all that stuff. So I've had a couple discussions with a bunch of people about how it's going to work. And the main thing everyone keeps saying, it's Florida, it's going to be too hot. Well, the average temperature in Florida in February is 65, 68 degrees. The average NHL arena is 60 to 65. So temperature is not going to be the deal. It's going to be the sun. At least down in Miami, they have a collapsible, or not a collapsible. They have a dome that they could open and close. So that'll
have like a retractable section,
retractable
right?
Roof.
A couple sections.
Yeah. I don't want to call it.
It's kind of like
they have that could help. The Tampa one, that's going to be tough. Try to keep the sun off the ice for a while, keep it up temperature. But once that sun goes down, And I'm sure the NHL personnel they've thought of it through. I'm sure the compressors and everything to keep the ice cold is going to be oversized and everything to help with this. But once that sun goes down, I don't see it being any different than what they've done a couple of years ago in LA and in Vegas, however long ago. And I think the players know that it's not going to be the best quality ice because it is outdoors and you can't there's too many variables to keep it going. But I think the players know that, and you just kind of do what you can with what they give you. And I'm excited for it. Can't imagine what tickets are going to be going for, but I know I'll be looking for them.
Or at least as of now, probably a couple $100, for a seat. Now, which I assume those would go down at least a little bit. An NHL arena, especially Amalie here in Tampa, holds. I think the record attendance might be 22,500, maybe if that. And I think with the hockey rink that being the way it is, they might be able to sell. They would be at least allowed to sell around 70,000 seats for that matchup. But I don't know what they're gonna limit themselves to as far as what's allowed. But
watching the games in the past, they're going to sell every seat possible. What I think is going to hurt ticket prices for both Tampa and Florida is playing Boston and New York, just because of you got the snowbirds down here, you got all the transplants down here. If they end up playing like Carolina or Las Vegas or Dallas or someone like that, I don't think it would be as crazy. But you get those Northeasterners coming down here. They're crazy about their hockey up there, especially those two teams.
Tampa and Boston's a big hockey rivalry. Mm-hmm. Now in Florida, and the Rangers are too. I think they weren't in the Eastern Finals, I think, this past year, or at least one of the two. They were in it. They, those four big all Eastern Conference rivals. So I think are they all in the same division, or are the Rangers in the Metropolitan?
Rangers and
New Florida in the Atlantic, I think, too, though.
I don't know. Ever since they changed it up a couple of years ago, I've always struggled remembering who's and who. It used to be so much easier. Let's see.
They're in the Metro. So Rangers are in the Metropolitan, but Boston, Tampa, and Florida are all in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Used to be so much Tampa did beat
the other way. then Seattle came along, and whoever else came along, they reseeded everybody,
and Utah.
I would have loved to see Utah. Yeah.
Utah doesn't even have a team name. I think they're still just Utah Hockey Club. I think.
Yeah. So they have a team name, but for this season, the first season, they kept it with Utah Hockey Club. Next season, they'll change it.
Okay. Does everybody know what it is?
Yeah, they did a poll and they came out with it. I can't remember who ended up winning, but yeah, the poll came out and they said it, that they're going with the hockey club first season. But have you seen like pictures from some of those seats over there?
No.
So there's some seats second section, like behind the net, that they consider obstructed view because you can't see the net. Like you can't see the net coming this way. You see blue line that way.
Oh, so you're like over top of the ice almost.
Yeah. You can't see.
Oh, wow.
Huh. But then I heard rumors that Arizona might be looking to take him back.
Wow. Yeah.
We'll see how that happens. But
yeah, a lot of jostling in hockey. And when you look at teams who moved from where, you had the Winnipeg Jets move, and now they're back. I think you had the Coyote. There's Atlanta, the Thrashers. They came and went like in less than 10 years.
I'd love to see Atlanta get another team.
Yeah, Nashville. A lot of those expansion teams. Some stayed, some moved back to where they were. I know. Yeah, you said the Phoenix Coyotes. They moved to Utah. Yeah, there was a lot. There's a lot of moving around if you're a hockey team.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people want the Hartford Whalers to come back. I know that I forget. I think they became the Hurricane.
Yeah, that's a big one. But from what I heard, the NHL isn't big up there. They got a bunch of like their minor league teams and stuff up there that supposedly do better. It's just not, from what I've heard, it's not an NHL market up there. Kind of like how Jacksonville has the Jaguars, but you wouldn't be able to bring in an NHL team, MLB team, or an NBA team here. It's a one pro sport team here. We've had, like I said, we got an ECHL team, which is AA hockey. We got a AAA baseball team, which is doing decent.
The Jumbo Shrimp.
Yeah, Jumbo Shrimp. Love going to
Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Yeah, it's a great name. Great minor league baseball hat too.
I've gotten 2 or 3 of them. But basketball, surprisingly, it doesn't stick around here. Like we've had, like the arena I work at, we'd have Globetrotters come in thinking it would be sold out. It's not sold out. We had the Jacksonville Giants, who used to do pretty well in attendance, and now they're playing at the college down the street, smaller arena. So for whatever reason, basketball does not do well here. Football does, even though we have a terrible team, which is great because everyone thinks I'm a Jags fan, and I'm like, nope, my team actually wins at least 3 games a season.
Yeah. Yeah, they thought everything was Urban Meyer's fault over there, and they kind of sort of rebounded and then fell apart again. But
and then they think that everything's going to change now that they fired Peterson and they're going to get a new coach, and it's going to be the same crap all over again because like most fans up here, anyone that watches football in the Jacksonville area knows that the GM might need to go, but that's above my pay grade, so I'm going to keep it that way. But yeah, I don't think you might bring a new coach in. It might give them 2-3 years. They might be back in the playoffs and doing some moves, but I don't think anything's gonna change with them until they actually do some cleaning some house.
Yeah, some of those teams need to. They're constantly finding themselves. Well, they don't need a quarterback, I guess, but
52 million
maybe. Yeah. But yeah, it's built through the draft and hope for the best. But yeah, it's the coaching. You find yourself reaching for quarterbacks and a head coach, and you don't build the trenches. I think that's you find out that's what happens.
Well, so I was trying to talk to someone the other day, not like the day or two after Peterson got let go. So the Jags had Urban Meyer for like 5 or 6 games as a coach.
Yeah, didn't even last.
It was either
might have been 8 or 9.
It might have been even less. It was either right before him or right after. And I can't remember who the coach was. I was trying to figure it out, but it was a pretty big name coach that wanted to. They were talking to, and he said he wanted to bring his own staff, including the GM. And they said, no, we have a GM. So he said, nope, I'm not coming.
Huh.
And the list that came out last week of coaches that they're interviewing, I'm pretty sure at least two of them said no because either they didn't want to work with the GM or they wanted to bring their GM with them or whatever their thing was. So, yeah, be
I
interesting
mean,
couple
he's
of
been in.
months.
I know he'd be not a bad hire. He already went to the Patriots, but Mike Vrabel would have been at least a solid hire, especially being a former head coach in that own division. But
Yeah.
I think he took the Patriots gig. Speaking of above your pay grade, I guess I have a little bit of a surprise for everybody. So we didn't just come on here to talk the playoffs. Something else massive happened in Florida and is going to continue to happen, and it's this.
Who runs naked through a dairy farm? Florida man, Florida man. Who never fears any bodily harm? Florida man, Florida man. Who's made love to a dozen trees? Throws tennis balls that are full of bees. Who tries to bite every cop he sees? Florida man, Florida man, Florida man, Florida man. He lives in his van, he's Florida man.
If anybody is wondering what that theme song is from, I got to give a shout out to my man Derek from Beach Bum. He came up with that segment. I'm going to run with it until he says I can't anymore. But this is happening kind of sort of in your backyard, Jerry. The Florida Man Games 2025.
Where is that this year?
St. Augustine.
So it is. So it was. I'm wondering. I noticed it last year was in St. Augustine. So I'm wondering if that's like the home base for it. Yeah, I wanted to go, but me and the wife were looking at tickets, but something came up and we couldn't go. So, did you look at the games that they got there?
Yeah. Do you know of any of the names?
I can't remember, but I remember the one that I was actually excited. It was a obstacle course that you ran away from a police officer.
The evading arrest obstacle course. That's like our crag, I think, if you want to talk what's that from? Not Double Dare, but yeah, that the evading arrest obstacle course. How about that? I looked up some of these games and they all look fun. And I think that there's a couple of there's a TikTok. He's a popular TikTok guy. His name is Oh My God, It's Wix. He does a lot of funny sketches.
Awesome.
There's another guy. I think he runs a couple popular Instagram accounts, Florida Man and some other ones where he's constantly tweeting about Brightline hitting people. But he's got some funny posts too about Florida. I think you love him. So there's the evading arrest obstacle course. Anybody else want to guess at what some of the names of the games are? I think you're looking it up probably, but you have.
Yeah, I had to look. I remember seeing them. I had to go and actually find the names. Yeah.
There's the weaponized pool noodle mud duel, which seen some of the pictures looks pretty fun.
Think of Gladiator. Remember the TV show back in the day, Gladiator?
Gladiator, yes.
Think of that over a kiddie pool of mud.
There's another one called the Sumo Cage Match and Beer Chug, which this actually looks pretty cool. You either knock the opponents down or you try and spill their beer from their pitcher. So the loser can still put points on the board by chugging their opponent's remaining beer. What's another one here? So this one. So I'll save the best one I thought for last. Human beer pong, uh, which that's probably obvious. You it's like playing the soccer in the big balls that you get knocked into big pools of beer. So I like that. Um, this one I thought was hilarious. You'll get it. The Hurricane Party Prep Grocery Aisle Brawl said that competitors must battle it out against each other to get the last of the hurricane prep and party supplies left on the shelf. And last but not least, the Eat the Butt Challenge. This one is where competitors must finish their pork butt platter in the fastest time to place highest in the initial bracket. There's a lot of other really fun things in here. I thought it was really kind of like, like a flash in the pan, like, oh, they're really going to do this and it'll be a nightmare. It looks like it was a success. Yeah. It was featured in a lot of news channels. The AP, USA Today, New York Times, like it got a lot of press. So the Florida Man games could be here to stay, people. Who knows?
Looks like March 1st. So
instead of round 2, or it is actually coming. So let's see. Yeah, you get tickets. So yeah, it's March. It says round 2. So that I would imagine that last year's was just the original.
Yeah. I remember Wix, OMG, it's Wix, posted something about it. And I was like, there's no way this is real. So, of course, I went on and saw it. I was like, we got to go. But I don't remember if I had to work the day or we went out of town. I don't remember, but we couldn't go. So, if we're not working that day, I think we're going to try to go. St. Augustine is a 45-minute drive, maybe an hour drive at most, depending on traffic. So,
okay. Like to find out where.
If I remember correctly, have you been to St. Augustine?
I have.
I want to say it's on I want to say it's on the green of the fort.
St. John's County Fairgrounds is what this says.
Oh, I know they had something. It might have just been like a. Last year they had something outside the fort, which might have been just like kind of like a pre thing where you had vendors and stuff. But yeah, they also do like I want to say like mullet competitions and Florida Man, like best Florida Man stuff. And
I think we could take it.
Stupid Florida. God, you gotta love Florida sometimes. Doing some stupid shit.
Yeah, they capitalized on stupid, which you gotta love. People, it's 2025. There's no more letting stupid slide. It's you capitalize on stupid, and Florida is good at that. But I think we're not as big of a, well, at least not maybe now, but as big of a caricature as people thought we were. We actually kind of had our shit together, but more than the rest of the country, But it's like we say we can't have that anymore. We're going to come up with the Florida Man games.
For the most part, Florida has their shit together. It's just when that summer heat hits you, it just makes you go crazy. You do some stupid things.
Yeah, that's it does. I mean, I'm happy waking up and it's chilly. Like it does suck not to like feel your fingers, but it's also nice to be able to walk around and it's a weird feeling though too when that, not necessarily when you realize it's freezing or whatever cold, when you have to wear a sweatshirt. It's that when you realize that there's no moisture in the air anymore, like for that 1 week or day.
Yeah. So that's the main thing I notice with like beards here. Like 90% of the year we have 75% humidity or more.
Yeah.
So you could go a day without anything and it'd still feel fine. These last couple days, like you put it in the morning, by this time at night, it's just like, oh shit, like it feels like it's brittle. It's going to fall out. Like there's no moisture in the air. The hair's not just throwing out. It's weird.
Yeah. I was worried about the new blend. I was like, is something wrong with the new blend? What's going on? I was like, oh, there's no moisture in the air. I was like, it's crunchy because like
Yeah.
there's cold and there's nothing. It's a weird realization for sure.
Yeah. When I first got the package in from you, I put it in the next day, and after work, got home about 4 or 5 o'clock, and I'm like, it just something don't feel right. Like whatever. It might have been something I did at work, or I was using the liquid butter, so I was like, maybe I didn't like, because I'm still not sure how much to use, because with regular butter, I know I could scoop out, rub it in, and go. The liquid butter, I'm still trying to figure out how much to use. So I went to the 2-step because I was like, I know this shit works. And same thing. I was like, oh yeah, there's zero humidity here. Like my face and everything is not used to it.
Yeah.
So,
And yeah, it's my beard took some adjusting, which is you don't notice that. Like you use the same products. I mean, I do. I mean, I'm using my products all day, every day. And so, I mean, you're probably switching products up to, favorite scents and different beard blends. I don't know, how much of a variation, the feel and beard has, or how they really affect, you obviously go with the favorites, but, for me using my products and then kind of going, all right, what's going on? And it's like, oh, it's 39 degrees out. That's why.
with the podcast and sampling a bunch of products, you go weird and you find something that doesn't seem right. You go to one of your normals, whether like you're up there with it. It's now 2 other brands now that Lee with EDC shut the door because of their situation. But you always go back to some of the stuff you're used to and everything you put it in, and it's just like, all right, it is the weather. Or, oh no, that stuff just didn't work as well. But yeah, you always have something on the side that works real well.
Any before we go, of any other new companies that you've tried, or any nice surprises that you think that you probably have come across lately? And even and let's say even the whiskey game, beard products or whiskey game, something that
so
surprised you
right off the bat for the beard game. We've started, because we all know going to a grocery store or Publix or Target or Walmart, you see random beard oils, and they're all, most of the time, are crap. We actually tried the Gillette King G or King C, I think it is.
Okay.
It actually has good ingredients for a major brand like that. Quite surprised.
Yeah.
And then tonight we used Wild Willie's, which I think is partnered with one of the guys from Duck Dynasty. Another brand you could get at like CVS or Target or stuff. Using good ingredients. None of this chemical stuff that you don't want to use. So we were talking about how some of these big box store brands are coming out with decent stuff. And I know when I first started going to Target or Walmart, pulling something off the shelf, and I'm like, this is terrible. I don't want to use this stuff in my beard. And then had a buddy like, no, try this because that is crap. And I was like, oh, there's the good stuff. So finding, I don't want to say like stuff that I'm going to use all the time, but something like, hey, if I go on vacation, I forget my travel bag with me, I know I could go to Walmart or Target and pick something decent up, which is strange. Thinking that, especially from 2 years ago, it seems like all the brands in store were filled with chemicals and random byproducts and stuff. And
Yeah.
seeing just jojoba and castor and like the good oils, it's just like, all right, like it's good to see. Like, even though they're big brands, and for the most part, you gotta like to support the small guys like yourself and what else, but sometimes you forget it when you're on vacation or something, or you got a buddy that doesn't want to spend $15 plus $5-8 shipping and then wait a week.
Yeah.
So hey, just go to the store, buy something for $10, and if you like that, now try this product for $20 plus the shipping. It's going to be that much better.
Yeah. I think I remember too, just wanting to like show off, be like, look at this. Look at the ingredients that they put in here. I think it was Wild Willie's, and I was like, it's not that bad. I
No,
think
not at all.
I was like, I see, like, I'm guessing, but it was like sunflower or safflower, and then like castor. I didn't see grapeseed, and I know it got a bad rap early, but I goes, wow, I'm looking for chemicals names, and I'm like,
They're not there.
I actually see scientific names for like, sunflower oil and apricot or just castor, and it's like you're probably using like inexpensive oils, but I always say like those aren't bad. They're not bad. Like, the difference between castor and black castor is minute. And scientifically, this probably has a little bit more benefit for hair growth, but that's sometimes debatable. And I've loved Jamaican black castor, but like a lot of companies do use castor because it is wildly inexpensive. But I will always defend castor. I'm like, it is a great oil. It's a great thick oil. A lot of companies have it as their first oil, and again, it's the cost of a gallon of castor as opposed to Jamaican black castor is astronomical. It's like JBC is 5 times as much as castor. But can you tell the difference between the two? Sometimes no.
I'd have to just go straight castor versus Jamaican black. But the brands that do use the black castor, granted, it could be the stuff that goes along with it, but seems to work well with my beard better than just the standard stuff. But I can't tell whether if it is the Jamaican black castor or if it's the jojoba oil with it that they're using, whatever, just because I don't know their blends or whatever. But I have noticed that if there is a brand like yours that has and I look and it has the Jamaican black castor, it's like, oh, well, maybe that might be one of the oils that works well with me. But yeah, without just straight doing it, I don't know if I could tell the difference.
Yeah, and it's like I've kind of, it's like I thought about just given that some of the batches of Jamaican black castor I got the notes in it were too roasty, like, and it sometimes can vary with how the beans are roasted before the oil's extracted. That scent can sometimes be strong, and luckily I think the blend is good enough to where you don't notice it. But I have noticed it sometimes, and if you're sensitive to certain oils or whatever, like you can probably pick out that, like where people can pick out, I mean, it's obvious, but with like a bird oil, but it was like ostrich or emu, like it has a specific smell to it. As opposed to where castor doesn't, even though they're both the same type of thickness. But yeah, those store-bought brands are kind of surprising me a little bit,
They're coming out, and like I said, we did those two. We got one more store brand one that we'll be doing soon. I haven't used it yet, but the ingredients are good, standard ingredients, nothing crazy. So it's good to see that, at least, like the normal person that doesn't use beard oil will go out there, see it, grab it for $10 or whatever it is off the shelf, and if they enjoy it, then they might just stick with that one, or they might start doing some Google search and find some other products out there. And that's how I did. I had a buddy say, "Hey, try this." I tried it, and then went down the rabbit hole, found some local places and some big name companies, and now 5-6 years later, got I don't know how many different brands back there and scents profiles and big rabbit hole.
Yeah. It's why you can, I think you kind of see from me, I went from everything under the sun as far as a scent profile goes to being like so unique to kind of toning it back a little bit to where just maybe doing the simpler, at least on the bottle notes, like as far as descriptions go. And you get a bigger aromatherapy description from me on the website and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, try to keep it simple. For my sake. And, I still have the urge to come out with, white chocolate, raspberry, truffle beard oil. But, what I get is you get more mainstream stuff. And I still will do a couple of those. But just like I want to do something like you would see on a shelf. So that's awesome. You guys are doing the store-bought test. I think that's a really cool thing you guys do that can kind of showcase some of the products that are, often purchased by, everyday consumers that, we don't come in contact with, but
it started with one of my co-hosts, Paul. I want to say he got a Christmas or birthday gift last year. I think it was. And it was the Gillette beard oil, and it's just one of those things where you get friends or family members that know, hey, you got a beard or you use beard oil. I found this in the store. Here you go, sort of deal. And luckily for him and us, it was decent ingredients. I'd say 2 years ago, it would have just been chock full of just random stuff that would not have been fun to put in our beards and on our face. But it's fun experimenting with these store-bought stuff and just seeing how it goes. And we've gotten burned once, almost literally. I'd have to go back and see what brand it is. And not like I would say the brand name, but we used it, and it just didn't do it anything. It hurt. It itched. We all became red underneath the beard. But then we did some research, and there was a lot of chemicals and stuff that we didn't see at first. But
definitely. I'm trying to look and see what those ingredients are too, and like it kind of. Yeah, the King C Gillette kind of. They got every beard wash and everything too. I know there's. I saw at Bath and Body Works was selling men's items, and they had beard oil. Now, I didn't think it was like a great blend, but again, I didn't see any chemicals in there. When you normally have to wait till the 5th or 6th ingredient to see a carrier oil, I didn't see that. No, it's like as a guy who I think put together like at least a premium blend, I wouldn't consider it that, but it's still good. I go, I as a guy who knows about all the crappy stuff that, people would put in their beards, it was good, so Viking Revolution. That was the bad one. Yeah.
But the Gillette is grapeseed oil, macadamia oil, evening primrose oil, avocado oil, soybean oil, jojoba, sweet almond, peppermint, vitamin E. So might not be the greatest blend out there, but nothing that wouldn't want to put on the beard. For all my
Yeah, a
face.
couple of those are different oils. It might be different for for stuff. I think, you see like soybean or like there's a company that had like Zay maize oil, like cornstarch oil, or just corn oil. I'm going, all right, that's not a chemical, but I don't, it's like olive oil too. I know that I think I have olive oil in the shave oil that I have, but again, that's it's not something that's sitting there you're using to shave with. But yeah, kind of want to know how more of those tests go.
Yeah, I said we got one
But,
more, and I'm every time I go to the store, I'm looking. If it's first ingredients, just some random word I can't pronounce, then I just kind of put it away.
Yeah, it's like with Gillette too. You kind of now I think they have to put it somewhere on the label that it has the hexane or hexate that's I think used to extract the oil from the grapeseed. And I know that's like gets a bad rap for it not having a great shelf life. But
Yeah,
so grapeseed got a little bit of a bad rap, but I think it's making a comeback. But yeah, it's when you say like, all right, how high quality is this grapeseed oil that you're using? But still, I'd rather see that than any type of hydrated silica or
yeah,
thing I can't pronounce or preservative for being on a shelf, which is great to see. So as I like that. But the Bucks are on right now. They are playing the Washington Commanders. So me and Jerry are going to get going. It might just be kind of either kicking off or pregame. But
it's weird just because I'm lucky to find 2 Bucks games a season up here, just because
yeah,
obviously the Jags take front, and then when he got Kansas City and Mahomes and Josh Allen and the Bills playing every week, it kind of overshadows the Bucks.
I feel like the
Unfortunately,
Steelers. I feel like the Steelers are on
yeah,
TV every single week here. But
there's always a big name or a big team over the Bucks up here, so I rarely get to see him. So when it's actually on TV, and I got some of those sites where you could stream whatever, but we just have Hulu with live TV, so we just whatever's on. So it's always fun when it's there, and then it's even more fun when, granted, it's been a while, but the Bucks are up here playing. It's usually just spring training.
yeah, you get a preseason game with Jacksonville. Typically, they'll play Miami or Jacksonville if they don't play them in the regular season. It's always preseason, and they always typically play Washington or Cincinnati too. Those or the Texans. Yeah. Those are always without fail. But we're gonna go. We're gonna watch the Bucks. Hopefully, beat the Commanders. Jerry, I appreciate you co-hosting and
yeah, thanks for having me.
Talking beards, playoff hockey, and it's always awesome having you on and talking with you. Everybody go finish watching the NFL playoffs and go Bucks.
Yep. Thanks for having me. It's been fun. Now we got to find this